I was like, what is this? And he's like, oh, the sign said...
I'm not an Apple expert.
He's like, the sign said those were Granny Smith. I said, babe, what color are Granny Smith apples? He's like, I don't know. Y'all, Granny Smith apples are green, okay? Today I am finally going to make the apple pie that I have promised y'all I was going to make. So today for cooking with Maja, we are having apple pie. Let's get to it. For this recipe, you'll need 8 Granny Smith apples, a half a cup of unsalted butter, 3 tablespoons of flour, a half a cup of granulated sugar, that's white sugar, a half a cup of packed brown sugar, 1/4 cup of water, and 1 9-inch pie crust. I use store-bought this time. Let's talk about why we don't have all Granny Smith apples. Granny Smith apples is what you're supposed to use because the tartness of the Granny Smith apples mix very well with the... I'm not a hater. With the sugar that you're gonna put.
The sign was wrong.
With the sweetness of the pie.
I'm not an apple expert.
So I sent Will to the store to get Granny Smith apples. He comes back with regular red apples, and I was like, what is this? And he's like, oh, the sign said...
I'm not an Apple expert.
He's like, the sign said those were Granny Smith. I said, babe, what color are Granny Smith apples? He's like, I don't know. Y'all, Granny Smith apples are green, okay? So when your wife sends you to go get apples, don't come back with this if she says Granny Smith. Come back with these. So I ran to the store to get some green Granny Smith apples, and guess what? They only had 6. So y'all know what I believe in. You gonna make apple pie, make it regardless of what you have, what you don't have. God, I have a special way of washing apples. I like to let my apples soak in water and 2 tablespoons of baking soda for about 15 minutes, and then I thoroughly wash them under lukewarm water. Then we are going to peel our apples. I really want an apple peeler, but all I got is this, and we're gonna make it work. Here we go. Aside from eating whatever I bake or cook, I love the prep process. Prepping ingredients just makes me so happy. First and foremost, I love to be organized in the kitchen. Like you will see throughout all these videos, I cook, I prep everything before I start cooking, and 2, I clean as I cook. It just helps me stay organized and stay calm. But the prepping process is my favorite part because it allows me to think. I enjoy just thinking about my day while I'm prepping the ingredients. For example, here I'm peeling these apples. I know that we're watching this in double mode and on a speed track, but peeling and cutting these apples took a very long time. And while I was doing it, I was thinking about where we were in the pandemic, how to get Nyla prepared for her next week of lessons. And I also like to pray while I'm cooking. I try to talk to God as much as possible, but my routine of prayer in the morning was just not where I wanted it to be during the pandemic. So when I did all these cooking episodes or cooking recordings, I was praying like, God, please help us through this. God, help me get along with Will because he's driving me crazy. God, watch over my family, and especially my parents and Will's parents during this pandemic, and my sisters who are nurses, because my sister-in-law and tons of my sorority sisters are nurses. Just prayer during the prep process. I also want to let you guys know while I'm here cutting these apples that most of these videos, maybe the next 15 videos that I post, will be videos that I made during the pandemic. I earnestly had a vision of starting a cooking vlog during the pandemic, and I made all these videos, and I was just scared. I was scared of posting them. I didn't think my camera footage looked good. I didn't like the lighting. There was just so many things that I nitpicked over, and I just never posted these videos. And fear was one of the biggest things. But at this point in my life, I don't care. I want to share my love with the world. I think that I'm actually good at it now that I'm watching these videos back. And I want to take the time to make something for my children. I have all these videos in the cloud and on storage of me doing things that I love. And if I don't put them somewhere for them to find them, my children, they'll remember me, but they won't remember me the way I want them to remember me. So not only do I give them great life experiences with my one-on-one time that I spend with them, I'm leaving these YouTube videos so that they can see, man, that was what mommy did. That aside from loving us, mommy loved herself, and to help herself process and to help herself be happy, to keep herself happy, she cooked for us. And I want them to know that me cooking for them made me happy. So yeah, let's continue to cut up these apples because it took a very, very long time. And I really hope that you all enjoy watching my videos. So we have our apples cut, we have our sauce made, and now we are going to roll out the dough and prepare our pie. You can find a recipe for a homemade pie crust. Today is a busy day. I don't have time for that, so stop by, what is this, Aldi? Picked up pre-made pie crust. It is okay to use pre-made pie crust. This is the first time I'm using this pre-made pie crust, so we're gonna see how this turns out. It's still gonna be food, and we still gonna eat it. Real cooking means you're gonna make mistakes all the time. No matter how much you prep, how much you organize, you are going to make a mistake. And in this video, I make a mistake during the cooking process. You will see here. But one of the other mistakes I made is I forgot to film the sauce. So here's how you make the sauce. You're gonna melt your butter into a saucepan on medium heat. You're gonna add the flour and stir till it forms a paste. Then you're gonna cook that until it's fragrant, about 1.5 minutes. Then you're gonna add both your brown sugar and white sugar and your water and bring that to a boil, consistently stirring. Then you're gonna let that simmer for 3 to 5 minutes, and voila, you're gonna remove that off the heat and let that sit while you prep your dough. I forgot to lightly grease my pan, so all this work I just did, I have to start all over. Mistakes happen. I am so dramatic. I didn't have to start all over. I just needed to remove the pie crust from the pan and grease it and then put it right back. So it didn't take me off that much, but that is something I am proud of in making these videos, is showing the true cooking process. I am trying to promise myself that as I evolve on these videos, I won't cut out the errors, whether it's me talking to you now and making these mistakes, or it's me cooking something and forgetting to put an ingredient in it, or forgetting to do something during the cooking process. I want you guys to see it because I want you to feel comfortable in the kitchen. Right now I'm watching all these YouTube videos and everyone looks so fabulous and perfect, and it's just not real. And I'm hoping that I can show you, and when you come to my channel, you can expect realness 24/7. So now you're going to cut your edges of your pie crust into little lines. So I'm using a bread knife because I want the design of the bread knife to come out. There's a special tool for this. I don't have many baking tools. Hint, hint for Christmas. If anybody wants to get me some baking tools, but we compromise and we make it work. We are rocking it in this apple pie tutorial. I'm saying we because in my head I envision you making this apple pie alongside me, like we're on the Food Network or something like that. Yeah, yes, that is a dream of mine, to get so good with my cooking that I am invited to either do my own show or be a guest on a cooking show on the Food Network. Love the Food Network. Okay, back to this apple pie. We are cutting these strips. You need 8 strips. So you're going to cut this into 8 strips. Yeah, that's Bo in the background. When I made this video, Bo wasn't even like planned out or anything. He was a plan in God's eye, but not in mine. But we are up, and he is here with me as I am doing these voiceovers. So back to this apple pie. Remember, 8 strips. Something else I want you guys to know about the making of this apple pie. I made this the day after Joe Biden and Kamala Harris won president and vice president of the United States of America. I was so happy that President Biden and Vice President Harris won the election. One, I just really could not deal with the mess that was Trump. And 2, I couldn't deal with the audacity of people and the way the America I was living was turning out to be. So I made good old American pie to celebrate the election of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, who is the first female African American and Asian vice president. So really happy, and I enjoyed making this pie to celebrate them and to celebrate a win for America, in my opinion. So laying these strips was so hard. Like, it took so much thought to get this checkerboard design right, and it shouldn't have. Like, it should have been so much more easy, but it was very difficult. But I finally got it done, and look at this. It's looking so good. I remember. Oh, you okay, Bo? Okay. Just cough through my voiceover. Thank you. Not gonna delete it out. Hopefully you guys laugh at it. But yeah, so getting to this point in the apple pie process, I was giddy. Okay, I was like, oh my God, look at it. It's turning out so well. And I went and got the fork to press the edges, because I remember seeing that either on, more than likely, on the Food Network. So yeah, I pressed out the edges, and it looks so good, and it felt good to get to this point of the apple pie process. So now what you are going to do is, after you get this all, put together, you're going to take the sauce and you're going to pour it into the apple pie. I did not have the utensils that I needed. Like, if I had like a little cylinder, I would have poured the sauce into the cylinder, and I would have put the cylinder into the little holes in the top of the pie, and then poured the sauce into the pie through the cylinder. I hope that me saying it that way, you envision it the way I'm saying it. But I didn't have the necessary tools. So I just made it work. I MacGyvered it and made it do what it do. And that's another thing you're going to get out of these videos. Sometimes I won't have all the utensils or the tools that the recipe calls for, but you can always bake a way out of any and everything. And here I am making my way through getting this sauce into this apple pie. But once I got it in there, get ready. It's about to be magical what you are about to see, because this apple pie looked delicious before I even put it in the oven. Like, it just looked that good. I have to give credit where credit is due. This is not my apple pie recipe. I am still working on my own apple pie recipe. I got this recipe from All Recipes, and it is linked below. I think below I have a link to the recipe, and I also have the recipe copied and pasted down here. It is the apple pie by Grandma Opal recipe. I love All Recipe. I've been using it since I started cooking back in college, and it's just never failed me. Anything that's 4.5 or higher, I trust. I also learned from my BFF, Justina, who really loved to cook back in the day. I think she still does, but she does it here and there. But she taught me to go through the comments. She's like, go through and read as many of the comments as possible, especially the comments that have 5-star, and see what alternatives or what additional recipe or additional instructions they say in the comments, and use it, because those comments are real and people are telling you what worked and what didn't work, and they kind of give you more explanation to the recipe. So definitely when you're on these websites, read the comments. At this point, I am using a cooking brush, I think that's what it's called, to scrape out that last bit of sauce out of the saucepan and glazing the top of my pie. The recipe doesn't call for it, but I was just like, I'm not about to let this sauce go to waste, so we're about to figure out how to use it. And in my opinion, I think it made the sauce or the apple pie just look more enticing. Like, yo, wait till you see this, okay? It just looks so good. But yeah, here we are. Our apple pie is all made, and like I said, I like to clean as I go along, so I'm like cleaning the dish, I'm cleaning around, like it is so good to clean as you go along. Like when you get done cooking and your kitchen is clean, whew, help me Jesus, it's a great feeling. We are done putting together our American apple pie. It looks so good and it has not been baked yet. So now we're gonna put it in our oven. I went ahead and preheated the oven at 425 before I got started. So we're gonna bake the pie for 45 minutes at 425. Then we're gonna reduce the temperature to 350 and bake it for 35 to 40 minutes. And here we have it, homemade American apple pie. I truly hope you have enjoyed watching this video as much as I enjoyed making this apple pie. Please like at the bottom, subscribe to my channel, and leave me a comment. Tell me what you thought of this video, and if you took the opportunity to make this apple pie, please let me know what you think and how it tasted on your end. I will see you guys next time, and Bo says goodbye too.